Good evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real, Section 5 Football. And as you can tell, we're back at Premier Sports here at Grease Ridge Mall. Just doing our podcast and coming back here and excited to be back. Got to say, first of all, we got to say thank you to Coach Joe Muno for having us come back and enjoying that. So, to no further ado, I got to start introducing our table. On my far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from East High School, Coach Paul Briganti. Coach.
Well, thank you very much, John. And probably before we get started, we have some news about our good friend and co-host Dave Lanning. And yes. I think you want to explain where Dave is. We're going to miss him.
As you can see, the young guy got next to me right here. Joined us. We talked on the phone. I think it was yesterday, and we made it happen real quick. And Coach Lanning is going back to coach football at Fairport. He's coaching the receivers, and he called me the other day and explained what was going on, and you know how much time that takes. So he's not going to be able to be with us to do it. So, Coach, honestly, you're the first person I thought of.
Well, that's good, or
no, that's awesome. that's awesome.
Is that good?
He got you already.
Well, you know, it's great to get a.
No, I appreciate it. No, I know I've been on a couple times and know what you're trying to do to reach out to the public about Section 5 football and to be thought of still after being out of the game for a little bit, so to speak, and think I still have my wits about me, at least my football wits anyway. So the rest of them might be questioned, but my football wits are still there. So thank you for thinking about me.
No, thank you.
Good to be here.
I know having you on the last couple times, you know, I could just tell that it's, you know, the enthusiasm is still in you. Talking football, that never gets old.
Oh, no.
You know, so
no.
When Dave couldn't do it, he was going back to coach. Honestly, you're the first guy I thought of because I know you still got that. It's in your blood. It's not going to go anywhere. So maybe this is our way of helping you a little bit to
scratch that itch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, again, we're going to miss Dave Lanning. We wish him the best. I'm sure we will see him along during the season, and we will we'll talk to him and how things are going for him. We are so excited to have Coach Mike Monacelli, legendary football coach at Caledonia, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach, with us now as an addition.
Yes,
and that. And I want to introduce our guest for today, and this man has a long list on his resume. He's currently in some of the organizations he's with in representing our area. He is in the New York State High School Football Coaches Association. He's in the National Football Foundation. He's on the board for the Historical Black College University game that will be held in Rochester. He's currently coaching at East Ridge High School. And some of the other places he's been along the way was Marshall High School, East High School. He's been at Bishop Kearney High School, Virtus High School. And did I forget anyone, Coach?
Arena Indoor, Buffalo, and Rochester.
Well, he also was with the he did coach with Coach Lanning. They coached with the Rochester Raiders, with the Arena League, and with the Buffalo Destroyers, I believe, when they were as an arena team.
Yeah, Ray Bentley was part of that with us.
We are glad to have you with us today, and I'm sure a wealth of knowledge and been involved with so many activities in Section 5.
Yes.
I guess my first question was, you had a busy weekend. The New York State High School Football Coaches Association had a 7-on-7 tournament and a lineman challenge up at Cortland. And can you fill us in how things went there and some of the highlights?
All right. Some of the big highlights started Friday. We had the girls' flag football championship up there at Cortland University on Friday afternoon, and it took place with about 28 to 30 plus teams. The girls from our area were the Webster kids and East Ridge girls, and there might have been a few others in Section 5. But the champions of that got into the championship. Actually, East Ridge girls went in the small school category championship against Waverly. But Waverly came out on the top and won that very close game by 3 points or so. And then in the large school girls was Syracuse East in Section 3. So that's the girls part of it. The boys in the challenge of the linemen was our Section 5 Webster Schrader. They came out on top in the large school category in the lineman challenge. And Maine Induel out of Section 4 was in the small school lineman challenge championship. Our boys locally that got into the finals were Monroe, Red Jackets, UPrep, and RH Roth football varsity boys and flag football. And the top seeded programs that won their championships out of Section 5 were Monroe, and that was in the small schools, and Waverly was in Section 4 in the large, and then you had St. Francis out of Section 6, and there's Pine Bush downstate out of Section 9 that won the championships.
How many schools in the boys were from the Rochester area?
We had a total about 7.
7 schools,
from Rochester in our Section 5 entry for this year. And any team could get in. It's all free, so the programs don't pay for it. The NFL and the New York Giants fund and sponsor all of this for these student athletes to come out. This is an annual event, usually the weekend after the 4th of July. It's at Cortland University in Cortland, New York, and we host it there. The kids also can come up with their coaches or their chaperones the night before. So Cortland has dormitories, and they rent out a dorm room for close to $40 per dorm room, and it probably beds about 4 student athletes at those dorm rooms.
A real nice event.
Absolutely.
You were saying to us earlier the New York Giants donated to were a big sponsor of this.
Yes, they
event?
are New York Giants of NFL. They've been involved with us from pretty much since I've been around it. And I know we've had some of the Buffalo Bills people talk to us, but we do it over there because of that district area that's in their zone. So I guess the NFL, with their work they do, they go to different areas of the states, or they work with different zones. So if we did it in Western New York, it would be the Bills doing it. And they're our premier sponsor. In the past, we've had the U.S. Army involved with us. Now we have a new group that's involved with us too, as a big name sponsor. It's called FRYP, spelled FRYP, and they did a TV live broadcast there yesterday. So if you were home and your son or daughter over the weekend was there at that 7-on-7, and you and your wife couldn't make it out to that event, you could go right online to this FRYP TV and watch your son or daughter live in real time, live actual events in the Lineman Challenge and the 7-on-7 events and all the championship events. So they do it's similar to Huddle Television, but they're even greater and bigger and larger. They're starting to grow and expand. If you guys remember the great football player O.J. Santiago, he owns this with another gentleman named Jason White, and also Deuce McAllister that used to play for the Saints. So they're all involved in this. They just got ownership of that program called Ballers. So they're one of our big namers that we're going to be working with.
Now, again, that New York State High School Football Coaches Association, you do so many things.
Yes.
And you have that big clinic every year at Turning Stone.
Yes, correct.
I believe. And I think you said it was probably the most well-attended this past year. Yeah. How many coaches did you have at that?
This past March, we host every year annually the New York State High School Coaches Football Conference and Clinics there at the Turning Stone Resort. And we hosted the largest clinic, plus we get involved now with girls flag coaches and flag involvement. And we do an online seminar piece there that we actually sell as a piece that when the coaches sign up for this, they can go back onto this and look at different webinars and training seminars similar to the Glazers or the other ones in the past that you may know of. So we do all of that with another organization. We had about a 910 plus event attendees, and that don't count all of the different type of folks that were there related to what we were doing. So we probably had well attended over 1,500.
And one of the things that I think the people in Section 5 would be very interested in, I believe you had a Don Santini Award.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about the Don Santini Award. And it was last year the first year they've had it, or has this been? When did that start? And what
led to it? What led to it? We knew Don was a premier person that was involved in the initiation of also founder of this New York State High School Football Coaches Association. You got Lyle Dixon and him that were keynotes. They were past presidents, executive directors of this organization. And along with that, with Don being sick as he wasn't able to attend a lot of our meetings annually and stuff and do those clinics. And it was the last meeting I saw him was a couple of years ago in banquet, and we honored that award for him. So that's a prestigious award given out to a person of anybody in our state or our section that does and simulates the direction of what Don Santini meant to high school football in New York State. That's from the coaches part of it, or being a part of an association, or just doing camps, or either combines as he did with so many others that we remembered at Fairport and Leroy when he was working there. So that award goes every year annually, and all the coaches get a chance to vote and nominate their own staff members or a person of interest to that.
Great. Well, some of the other things I think we've talked about, you had mentioned, and we probably remember it as the New York, New Jersey All-Star Game.
Absolutely.
And there's been some talk on either restoring that or doing a different state or an upstate, downstate. Where is that at right now?
Well, we're still in the front part of it. I'm part of the committee. It's going to be more like the New York State All-Star Game, as you just mentioned. But what we're looking at is also looking at it as an out-of-the-country game, too, versus the Canadian All-Star high school varsity level players. Since we're close to the border of Canada, already UB's coach, he's a member, and his group with us, he's already talked to us last March. He would be willing to host the game at UB, since it's near the border, and then they don't have to travel as far. And we probably for the downstate teams, they've had to travel to Western New York area. And also, UAlbany's new coaching staff is on board with us in our association. They already mentioned that they would be happy to host a game even there at UAlbany. So we got a couple of spots right now, and I'm going to be looking for coaches and other things that we can do on our end, up on this upper end of the northern part of New York State, and I got a couple committee members that are in downstate, like Long Island guys, or down in Section 1. So we're still working on that plan, and the guys from Fripe, O.J. Santiago, is very much enlarging with us on that too.
Nice. Well, I had, just to interject, I think it was 1998, I had a player play in the first one down at Rutgers.
Yep, okay.
That was pretty big deal, for to step
yeah.
out
Absolutely.
and do it. And I felt bad that it didn't continue. So thank you for trying to get this thing alive, and especially go north of the border too with us.
Absolutely,
That's
Coach.
Stretching in. That's great for Buffalo area people, Rochester, especially the closest. But hey, it's just anytime you can put kids in the spotlight, on a big campus.
Absolutely, Coach.
It's a great thing for them and the sport.
I was at the first one, the one at Rutgers.
Okay.
And the thing that I got out of that was New York needed to, they weren't invested in this like the New Jersey. New Jersey practiced for the game. They practiced 3 weeks. They had 3-week practice.
Wow.
Before, and I believe the New York one, because we had, I believe Mark Stolte played, Calvin and Arau played from Aquinas. They had maybe 4 days of practice time.
Mike or John, do you remember? Did Dick Domenico coach? Was he the
Yes.
head coach the first game? I believe he was.
he was.
I think Jim Lemline coached in that game too.
Yep. It was down at the University of Rutgers. And,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, the facility, that was nice, but you're right. It was almost like it was a glorified Eddie Meath game.
Yes.
And not really. This is like state
New
all-star.
Jersey.
Right. the state
New
all-stars.
Jersey took it for like
That's
this is a
second
real
volleyball
this
star.
is a real thing. Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
And they had some big, they had big time kids. They had kids. I remember, some kids
So
going to Penn State and that.
I'm glad the move is, and you're involved in this.
Yes,
Local
sir.
guys involved to make this start to happen.
I remember going to Syracuse to watch that game too. It was being played. The last question I wanted to ask you about the New York State High School Football Coaches Association is how does someone become a member, and how are we doing in Section 5? We're always looking for more members
Yep.
throughout. They go on a website or what?
Yep, you can go to our website, nyshsfca.org. Usually the membership starts renewing around the late part of December. So that's probably the best time after the football season's over. And if you're not involved, we probably got close to 76 true Section 5 football programs in our section that I know of. That Lyle and myself and Mike Makovich over at Newark is on our board also with me in Section 5. And we probably got right now actively probably 15 to 20 active Section 5s, and we could do way better with 76. I mean, this is what we got. I mean, we can't tell an organization or a school district or a private and ProCo, you must become a member. This is an association, but we have so much to offer for the coaches, and we have so much to offer for the student athletes, including the girls flag football now moving forward, moving that into the college collegiate levels. And we got contacts with people that are going to be working hand in hand with the future of the girls flag football. I just found that out at the tournament over the weekend. That's going to be on this USA Olympics. That's going to be involved with these girls and men's flag football. So they may be coming to our next coaching clinic in March. Some of those people that are going to be working with these student athletes. So that's the offers we give. And plus you have $1 million liability that once you become a member, that say if you're doing a camp and somebody has an issue with you or there's a liability of risk because of an injury, you're covered with our insurance. So as soon as you become a member, you now are insured for $1 million policy as a coach, no matter what camps you're doing in involvement with your programs and teams. So that's the big plus. So we're paying a huge price out for this liability insurance for the coaches. So that's a helpful thing. And then you get some offers on some other ends too.
Well, I mean, that's great information. And I know in the past, when you are a member, it's a discount. You have a discount coach's price or coaching staff price.
Correct.
When you are members of the organization.
Yep, we even have the retirement package too. So for all the retired coaches that I'm bumping elbows with, we have it where you get a discounted price because you're a retired coach, retired staffer, or alumni, whatever, in your schools, and you've been in your districts.
The networking, the collegiality that can happen for you belonging to your professional organization. It allows you to grow.
Absolutely.
At clinics, you can sit in the big room or you can sit in, somebody's room with a dry erase board and, who's got the ball last, what would you do, and learn a lot, and now instead of that, you can belong to the association, the door is wide open for collegiality with
Absolutely.
with your profession, and that's just professional growth if you want to be true to the game,
Absolutely, Coach. And we have a bunch of collegiate groups and organizations throughout our area of our Section 5, our Division 3s, our Division 1s, and we got some out of state. And we got like the pros, the New York Giants, a couple other NFL programs that are part of our institution. So it ain't just high school guys that are doing this. We got pros and on the collegiate Division 1 all the way down to Division 2s and 3s. And we got some of these HBCUs that I'm getting involved now with our coaching clinic. So that's another outline that we're blowing that up with the HBCU.
Well, that's a good lead into the HBCU. You're on that board. Tell us a little bit about the game. When's it going to be with the teams involved? And again, I think they've played it the last couple of years here, right?
Absolutely. Yep. They've had a good couple games here in the last 2 years. They had a contract with a team out of Ohio State area, Central
State of Ohio.
Yep. And so they're not going to be the host team this year. They're going to have Lincoln University out of Pennsylvania. They'll be the host team versus the visitor will be Virginia State out of Virginia. So that game will kick off on October the 3rd. That's the first Saturday of October at 1 p.m. at the Oak Street location.
Shalen's Day or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
what
call
the
it
name
the
is.
Community Stadium Center. So that's part of the city of Rochester. They're also going to do an expo. So that's the biggest news, too, that I've been hearing. An expo is a college career kind of day where the students all get to come down from their various schools during the day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the city of Rochester is overseeing it. Dr. Price is a private entity into it that works with our Experience Live events group. And she does these expos all over the country for these HBCU colleges. They're probably going to have 55 plus colleges come in.
Oh, great.
And they're giving out on that day in question in Rochester on September the 30th. That'll be the Wednesday before the game. About $5 million in scholarships.
Wow.
They're offering it to the kids in our area on the spot scholarship offers right then and there.
What's interesting, too, about that game, I believe it was last year, it was the furthest north that an
Absolutely.
HBCU had played a football game.
Yep.
And number two, which I think for the Rochester area, because we do not have a Division I football program in Rochester, and believe it or not, we are probably the only place in the United States that with a population that doesn't have a Division I football or basketball program. So it's an opportunity to see some Division I football, a lot of fine athletes, and it's a good thing for Rochester. I think, what did they get, about 7,000 people last year?
Well, at least 7,000. We got a little bit more than that the first year because it was so a new thing to the community in the area. They also bring in the cheerleaders. They bring the bands. That's the big thing. The marching bands sell out that place, I think, because people love the music.
Movie Drumline. Here we go.
Drumline. Oh, my God. They get out there
Reminds
marching
me of that one.
up and down, and they compete. And I'm going to tell you, both bands last year was great. When I say they marched in like little soldiers, they were in formations. Nobody was out of step. They went in there and they did a fantastic job. I took a couple of videos of it, and I was at awe the way they did their thing. And that's one thing that's a selling point. These kids do their thing.
I was there last year at it, and the only thing that I kick myself about, and I'm for sure going to do it, I'm going to bring my camera.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
There's some real artistry going on out there, and it's not just the music; it's the athleticism.
Oh yeah.
What it reminds me of, years ago, myself, Bob Ebert, who's over here, we used to go down to the Big 33 game down in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
And their motto down there, which at that game, it reminded me of that. It's more than just a game. And when I walked in that day, and it's just the bands are playing, there's food cooking, they're selling stuff, and then the football kids come out. It's just, it's like in my eyes, it's like a carnival.
Oh yeah, bro.
Well, it's like a Saturday afternoon on a college football campus. Football, only it's high school. You know, it's exciting that they have a chance to feel that. You know,
and that's why we want to get the Section 5 committee involved with what we're doing, because without the kids and their families, this all really doesn't happen. And this is the real key component with the mayor of the city of Rochester. When they got me involved 2 years ago, I'm hired on now also as the game day football operations guy because of my background with that, with the indoor teams and doing that stuff. So now I handle that duty on the day of the game. Making sure we're ready to go up in the press box to the referees. I meet with the head referee probably a month before with many contacts and calls with him and his crew. And, I mean, it is a ball of wax from getting them from the hotel or even at the airport, picking up the president of the schools. I mean, all of that's under my umbrella. But I'm willing to take on the task even during the football year with us in high school. But it's a beautiful thing. The County of Monroe's managers involved with it. We have in the past have had Wegmans with us as a sponsor, and so there's a lot of them, like Baldwin Richardson's Food is the big name sponsor of that. So we have a lot of folks within this area in this county that's really looking forward to this big matchup. You got the fraternities, the sororities. We're going to hit out to Buffalo. We're going to hit out to Syracuse. I already got a couple coaches already talking yesterday about it. So it's going to be a big event, a big, large event.
Well, you mentioned a little bit about Section 5.
Yes.
And what's going on with the Section 5 football committee, the Section 5 committee, and type things that is going to be new this year? Anything coming down the pipe?
Well, at this point, we don't have any 8-man football. That's a blessing probably in the disguise for the first time in our section. So the football year will start on Monday, August the 17th this year. That'll be the official actual date when real football starts. I know a lot of programs have started their spring practices with themselves, and now the summer they may be going out with 7-on-7s with other opponents around the area of Rochester and Monroe County and Section 5 in the southern tier, Livingston County areas and Genesee counties. They're still putting the project together. But most programs that I've recognized and noticed, from the modifieds all the way up to the varsity levels, there is not too many programs existing right now that has all three together. And that's what I put the big stop sign out about 2 years ago on our executive board for New York State football. Because it not only in our section, I talked to the guys down in Long Island, in Section 11 and Section 9, all the way past Section 6 out there. They all got the same issues. We're merging now with the rivals, as you know, your old program.
Well, you know, and that's true. And to have three levels is so important. That's what happened. That's what allowed our merger to go back to three levels, because now you don't have 8th graders with the JVs. You now have a 9th grader with the 12th graders, and that's the beauty and the rationale of three levels, so that they were in their age and maturity level, and then can grow as an athlete. And that's so important in this sport. I applaud you for having so much skin in the game. You know, from
This skin is getting awful thin, Coach.
But I mean, from the local level and coaching at all levels, at all different, city school, private school, county school, then professional, semi-pro, and then especially since we're retired and it's tough for us to have our fingers in things, but what you're doing at the at our professional level with the organizations to help get the word out and encourage these young coaches that come in the game, the importance of being part of the big group, not just themselves.
Absolutely.
And that's so important if they want to stay in the game, and it's all for the kids anyways, but to give your kids a good environment to play. And what you're doing especially the kids in Section 5, because that's close to our heart here, but everything. I got two granddaughters that play flag football.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Absolutely.
One's up in 4 years ago. I said, holy mackerel. And it was like two halves of the field, and it just kept coming game after game. And then I have one in Victor, and it's no different.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's a lot of girls out there, and parents, grandparents follow. And if nothing at all, the girls understand the sport, and it becomes more of an affinity for parents and grandparents. To
follow,
to
be involved.
Follow, get involved, because now they have blood in the game. They have their child, grandchild,
Well,
in the
coaches,
game, and it's so much greater for girls' sports. It's another offering which we can get going on girls sports.
Yeah, that's a whole
But
other
as an old athletic director, before Title IX and then after Title IX,
yes, sir.
it's just so great for girls to have the opportunity to play our game.
Absolutely.
To share what we have had and enjoy about the game. So I'm glad that your fingers on the pulse of that, and
Coach,
hopefully it continues to grow.
I need a lot of help and a lot of standees, but I just got noticed 3 weeks ago. My own granddaughter at 13, she's in the city of Auburn, New York. She's going to play with a youth group that's going to host and have an all-only girls tackle football.
Wow.
For the first time in my life and my history. And she is so jacked up and excited about it, her and her neighbor. And the neighbor dad is one of the coaches. And I'm saying to myself, I said, wait a minute. You're telling me this is tackle football? She goes, yeah. She goes, Papa, it's tackle. It's not flag. Because she knows the difference. She says, no, I'm not pulling flags. I'm really hitting.
No, I'm not pulling flags. I'm getting somebody.
Yeah, so she's into the real sport of physicality because she's been in the youth boxing stuff too.
Well, I had to coach you. There was a young lady that was a D tackle.
Yeah.
And I had to be careful.
There you go.
But I tell you what, she also wrestled.
Oh, yeah.
So she wasn't afraid.
So she wasn't afraid, so she took it on.
She was, and I'm looking at her, I said, man, that's just a tough girl that enjoys, a sport and not going to be on the sidelines.
Yeah, I know East Ridge, we got a freshman coming in. She's off from the modifieds, and she's going to be a freshman this year. And she plays D-line and also O-line. So I've been there before. I've had girls play for me when I was at Brockport coaching when I was a young coach.
It's a great opportunity.
There's great opportunities for these young ladies. So that's the movement right now, gentlemen. When you see a quarterback in the NFL, and I marked this on the date calendar coming to a theater near you, I believe the National Football League is going to try it because they feel it's a marketing selling point.
Oh,
they
sure.
want to put a female under center as a quarterback. That's why they don't want you to touch the quarterback.
Well, what was it was in the news or something I picked up today? Josh Allen put his name in the hat for flag football, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everybody wants a chance at that gold medal. They don't care how they got to get it. So if they can get a chance to get a gold medal playing flag football,
let's go.
It's a gold medal. We're going to go get it. So those are the things that are up. Moving forward in our country.
Yes, it is.
So the United States is still going to be a football country, no matter what they say. All the concussion protocols, all the incidents with CTE and all that stuff. I think it's down to the parent, and the safety of the game has gotten different. The helmet structure has gotten different, and the ability to have certain type of safety equipment and all this availability and technology is just moving it forward in our game.
Yeah, I know where you're coming. I was at the beginning of all that concussion protocol stuff, and as much as equipment is somewhat of a factor, the biggest factor is knowledge, playing the game safely.
Absolutely.
Getting yourself in shape. Your shoulders and your neck and things like that, whether you're a boy or girl, don't make any difference. But there's a safe way to play.
Right, absolutely.
You bring up a great point, Coach. A safe way to play. I remember as a coach, a lot of people would ask, what age would you start someone playing football? I said, it's not the age, it's who's coaching them. Watch what they're doing in practice. You start them a day or two late, but watch what they're doing with the kids. But, on to that point, your nephew runs a youth football camp and starts a lot of young kids just learning the sport of football. And Coach Moody, you coach with Gino Alport before in his football camp that he runs. Probably 150 kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these are young kids that are getting first-time introduction to the sport and learning the game, the fundamentals to do things properly. And, it's a great camp. I know you've been involved with that camp. One of your former players, Nate Carter, that was the captain at Michigan State. He just recently had a camp.
Absolutely.
And,
June 6th was his camp.
And,
Yeah.
you know, we have, I know George Giordano runs the West Side camp that will be coming up in a couple of weeks. So we have a lot of these camps at all different age group levels. And, you know, trying to, you know, get kids involved, learning things, doing things the correct way.
And that's so correct, gentlemen, because I think once you teach good technique and fundamental sound football, and it all just comes back to when you were in AD or in physical education as Paul, it's muscle memory, it's muscle tissue memory, and it's safe, and your 6-inch steps and all of that you got, lower pad level, all that stuff, and how you're tackling. Is you're tackling with your helmet going down to the ground, hitting it and bouncing 20 times when you're hitting a kid, or is it on top of the opponent that you're trying to hit and forcing the blow that direction? I mean, how we take pursuit angles and all that stuff, and how you do everything with your footwork, and just not the way we even stretch anymore. We used to sit and do these V stretches with the kids. Now everybody's doing these walk away out stretches that you walk in lines and you walk and stretch like the NFL or the colleges. So I see it more down on the youth level that everybody is basically doing these different stretches, and I think it comes down to how you take care of the body after a workout and practice, and what do you do previous to that.
Before we get out of here, there's some things I got to go over. People that have been with our podcasts, our last couple podcasts have not came out on YouTube. And I've been working on it. I'm telling you, I've been up day and night, and I finally got to the bottom of it the other day. So if you just go on and watch your episode, there'll be other episodes on there that I'm putting that have not been on. Those should all be caught up within the next day or two. I'll have them all on YouTube. But they are out if you want to go on Facebook. Instagram, X. Coach, you got all those right?
Pardon?
You got all those right?
Can I borrow your pen?
Yeah, Coach.
I'll get one of my granddaughters to clue me in on just what you just said.
Right.
So if you need to get on that, go see your grandkids.
Yeah, really.
Some other stuff that we got going on, too, is Paul was talking about West Side Camp. We got West Side Camp today is July 16th, and you know we're halfway through the month. August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we're going to be out at again at West Side Camp up at Greece Olympia High School, and Coach G has 8 teams there this year, and we're going to do a couple teams a night, and just getting people back. You know, that's in our eyes, that's like the official start for us with football for the 2026 season. After that, it'll be the week before the 17th of the official day.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be, right now it's August 14th. We're having that one-day thing with Antoine and EJ from Glory to Glory up at Rush Henrietta. It's a media day, and they're all going to be all kids that were all Greater Rochester kids last year with their coaches.
Good.
And we're going to have a one-day thing up at Rush Henrietta, talking to the return players, the coaches, and just talking about more of the upcoming season. So we got some stuff in the making. After that, we're going to have, I believe the third week in September, we're going to have the Aquinas-McQuaid game we're going to televise. And that'll be up at Aquinas this year. And just looking forward with that. We're going to be doing it also with Antoine and EJ from Glory to Glory. Mm-hmm. So just for people out there, just, you know, put it on your calendar or on your cell phone that, you know, we got some things coming up, and just stay tuned. And football is right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I have one thing I wanted to say before we depart. Wanted to welcome Coach Monacelli to our podcast, and I found something, and someday I'll tell you where I found it. I
You
don't
mean
know.
the CVS bag is in
Yeah,
it?
it wasn't a CVS, but I don't know if you have one, and if you do, you just have another. But what I want you to see on this was, and this is for you. This is a gift to you. This is a New York State High School Athletic Association. This was the state championships, and do you remember your game with Rye? Did you play Rye? And can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I got a great story.
That's for you, Coach.
Of course, at that time, and you would know, that would have been 93.
Yes, it was 93. You're absolutely
First
right.
game on the field.
93.
At that time, the enrollment split was 200 to 400 for C.
Okay.
We were low
Low end
200.
of that, yeah.
They were like 380 something. You know, they were the as I used to say, the wine and quiche people, and we were the beer and pizza people. And so we're, I have my feelers out. You know, you get your alumni in different areas, and can you go shoot a game for me and send it? So I said, oh man, they're pretty good, first of all, and so. And Dino Gar is still coaching.
Really?
They're state
He's
champions.
still coaching.
They're state champions last year.
And so we go into the game, and really, it was like we call Livingston County football. Mm-hmm. We went bang. And there, a couple trick plays, a lonesome man, all of a sudden this guy off the sidelines. And I'm like, who's covering that guy? What happened? My D guy, he's like, I don't know where he came from. We're going, even the official, because the official lines up.
Right.
Just
he's
outside the last tight lineman, the last receiver. He's lined up there, the official's over here. He's gone. So, long story short, we won. And it was just like, I guess we have arrived.
Would you beat him by? Well, do you remember?
It was a slugfest. It was like 30-something to 20-something.
Wow.
We traded a little
Good
bit.
little ball game.
But, we had some pretty good D3 kids, and a bunch of them were sophomores. 6 of them. That's why in 93, 94, 95, we ran that
time
stretch.
Right.
But it was, bright lights. There was no Coach Ryder's pole or nothing. You won it on the field. And finally, New York State football arrived. In fact, it was, I took a timeout. It was just before the half. We had a couple penalties, long run penalties, got called back, and it was just sissy stuff. And I finally called timeout, and they're like, I went right to the head official. I had my 2 minutes right there. And you know what we had about in the second half? Maybe 15 yards or something. I said, this is football. Back in the old, it was good old boy. Whoever was the old in the chain, they got the game. I said, this is a game. You better get in the locker room and tell your boys, if they see it, fine. But if they don't think if they think they saw it, don't call it. And it was funny how it turned out the second half, but it was it was some growing pains for everybody.
Right.
And I don't take your time.
No. We enjoy hearing these stories.
This is why I hired you.
Yeah. I got the shirt. I'm in a coffee shop in Sarasota, Florida. And with some other guys, coffee guys, you know how that goes. So this preacher lady comes in. She's got a nice Jeep. You can be a preacher lady in Florida, but you can have a Jeep coming through. So one of my guys has been there for a couple of years, knew who she was. She was from Rye, New York. Rye, New York. Oh. Really? So I just happened to go up to her when she was cashing out. I said, hi, how you doing? Glad to meet you. Glad to see you here. I understand you're from Rye. I said, yeah. I said, you know Dino Gar? Oh, yeah, Coach Gar. He had a tough time in '93. Well, we see
Coach
now
Gar.
she's a Presbyterian preacher down there, and we go to my wife's Presbyterian, so we go there, and we every now and then we lock eyes.
Now,
We lock eyes.
was this one of the first state games in the Dome?
Yep.
I believe it was.
Yes.
93
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first.
Really?
Joe
Thursday, yeah.
Casarella was North Rockland.
Yep. And let me tell you a little bit about this. I was at this game with the guy over there. And 93, it was North Rockland and Jamestown playing in the Class A state championship game. And we were sitting watching the game, and we were looking at each other, but at the time saying, wow, wouldn't it be just freaking awesome just to, coach a game and
Right.
get involved
Absolutely.
in this. And then sure enough, Tony Lapani at Aquinas, he started it in 98. And then Dave Neiman God bless, Dave Neiman, took it over, and then Chris, and then Derek Anacino, and after going through that little run and everything, just I go back to those times, though, and just really cherish that.
Well, the Carrier Dome they had growing pains. They didn't understand how this was going to fall. It was like Fort Knox getting in there.
Oh, my God, it was,
And,
yes.
Oh, we had to warm up on the concourse
yeah.
up here and this.
You had to get off the bus and do this, and check your bag.
Oh, it was, like you say, it was growing pains, and one of the things, I tried to prepare your kids ahead of time, and sit down when you have big games, whether it's sectional championship games or, playoff games or whatever. You try to take that out of their minds so that it's just football is in their mind, And I thought we tried to do a good job with, the trip and all the stuff, and I didn't want to have big starry eyes in their eyes.
Oh, and they would, too. They do.
Very easy. In fact, I think a couple of my coaches had it, too, It's like, they're looking around. I said, come on.
We played a team from down the southern tier, and we already played at the Dome that year with our kids. Actually, for whatever reason, we played 3 games that year at the Carrier Dome. The kickoff classic, the semifinals, and then the state finals we played. And the team we were playing in the semis, we happened to get at the Carrier Dome at the same time, both buses. So our kids get off the bus. They know the routine. Get off the bus, you get your bag, you got to go check in, you got to do this, do that. They get off the bus. They're looking at the ceiling. And I said, they're in trouble. They're looking at me like, what are you talking about? I go, their eyes are in the clouds.
Yeah.
And really, and I tell people this, if you ever, coaches out there, if you ever have the opportunity to play in there and you haven't been there with your kids, get there early.
Right.
Get there early, because they're going to have stars in their eyes. And like you said, even some of the coaches, just being in that environment is just, if you've never gone through it.
Thank you for this. This is
very good.
That was that was a great thing for our community.
Joe is still on my executive board.
Is he?
Today.
If
Is he
you
really?
bump
Yep, he's
into
on my
him
board.
ever, you tell him. We were always the
I will
first
let
name
him know
basis
that.
for a long time.
Yes, I will let him know
Bump
that.
into
Yep.
at the clinic,
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
he's still
he
on my
always
board.
he always said, I think it was the '95 team, which pretty good. He said Coach, you were the D champ. You would have beat the C champ, which we did during the season, Leroy.
Right.
You would have beat the B and given you a day to rest. You might have given the A a run. I said, thanks, Coach, for the compliment. From another guy that understands good old-fashioned football,
Football.
especially
That's
now, if he's
right.
still got, as I say, skin in the game. He still wants to make sure that the game continues and grows. But thank you very much. That's a memory right there. I don't have one. You got your closet's full of clothes from school and coaches. You're always wearing your school colors all the time, but I don't have one of these.
Someday I'll tell you where I got that, and it's a funny story. but I thought
most of our life is a funny story.
I was hoping that you won that game.
There you go.
Just want to say thank you again. thank you, Ed, for being here. It's
Always,
always
guys.
good
It's a
seeing you.
blessing,
I
man.
appreciate you
Coach,
being here.
always.
Real coach, welcome aboard the team, man.
Yep, and Coach,
This is the greatest thing in Section 5, folks. I'm telling you, these guys, they put their time in, they research, and keeping this alive on this podcast is so enduring and important to this area of Section 5. We have to continue these things.
thank you.
We have to.
Yep.
I'm so appreciating of the founding fathers of you guys. And I'm next to a legend over here. I'm telling you, everybody I know of you, your nephew and them. It's all been great. I watched you from afar because I was a
thank you.
Santini. He was my kind of mentor from a distance, locally. He was my guy I watched. They even call me kind of the junior Santini now because I'm following in his footsteps. So I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Thank
Coach,
you, guys.
I got to say thank you. You know, hopefully we don't take too much of your downtime away
Well,
from you.
it's my downtime is going to lacrosse, girls lacrosse
There
games,
you go.
flag football games. You know.
Figure, you know, you do know a little something about this, so you know, just really, you know, exciting having you
No,
with
thanks
us.
for the chance.
Oh, you know, we're gonna have a great time together doing this, and hopefully doing this, it'll give us a chance to get more involved with we were talking earlier about the Livingston County, you know, seeing that side.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's all Section 5. And then for you coming up and getting, you know, a little more familiar with the Monroe County up here this way. And, you know, just helping each other along. So just thank you again.
No,
and,
thank you. You're
you know,
welcome.
really appreciate it. Before we get out of here, at the end, we're going to point at the camera. So 1, 2, 3, and I'll say keeping it real, Section 5 football. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keep it real, Section 5 football.
Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.